Welcome back to Moose and Chemistry. Today we're going to talk about Boyles Gas Law in our first lesson. Now Boyles Law is the relationship between pressure and volume. And so we're going to show you the formula that goes with that. P1 V1 equals P2 V2. Now it's important that we have the pressures have to be the same. So they have to both be in either ATM, millimeters of mercury, or some pressure like that. Volume has to be in the same units also. So when we're looking at volume, I put the 2 back on there. When we talk about volume here, we are talking about like milliliters or liters, for example. And they have to be in the same units. So we'll get rid of that real quickly. And now let's go ahead and get started with a problem. Alright, now I've written this question. If I have 5.6 liters of a gas in a piston at a pressure of 1.5 atmospheres and compress the gas until its volume is 4.8 liters, what will the new pressure inside the piston be? So the first thing I like to do is I like to set up all my variables because I feel that's very important. So we're going to go P1, V1, P2, V2. So we're going to go ahead and figure out who is who. If I have 5.6 liters of gas, so 5.6 liters is my first volume. My first pressure is at 1.5 ATM. Half the problem of getting these questions right is reading who's who. The second volume is 4.8 liters. So we don't know what the new pressure is going to be. So we're going to set up our pressure P1 V1 equals P2 V2. And we're going to want to isolate this equation for P2. So P2 equals P1 V1 over V2. Once we have that, now we're just going to put our numbers in. And so our pressure first was 1.5 ATM times our first volume, which would be 5.6 liters, divided by our second volume, which is going to be 4.8 liters, and so we're going to multiply the two together. And our new answer for our new atmospheric pressure is going to be 1.75 ATM. So because our liters will cancel out. And that's how you do a Boyles Law gas problem. Let's look at another problem here. So let me go ahead and erase everything. So I'm going to clear all drawings. All right. Yep. And I'm going to write the equation again. P1 V1 equals P2 V2. Okay, now I've written the second question here. I've added 15 liters of air to a balloon at sea level, which would be 1 atmosphere. If I take the balloon with me to Denver, which would be kind of an issue, where the air pressure is 0.5 ATM, what will the new volume of the balloon be? Well, again, the first thing is write down my variables, V1 and P1 V1. P2 and V2. And now let's figure out who is what. So if I've added 15 milliliters at sea level, that's my first volume, and 1 ATM is my first pressure. My second pressure is going to be 0.85 ATM. Now in this case we're looking for our volume, our second volume to be in fact. So we go P1 V1 equals P2 V2. Now we're going to want to isolate for V2. So V2 equals P1 V1 over P2. So let's go ahead and plug in our information. Our first pressure was 1 atm. Our first volume was 15 liters. Our second pressure was 0.85 atm. So that cancels out, and now all we have to do is divide the two. So anything times 1 is 1, so we have 15 divided by 0.85, and our new volume is going to be 17.6 liters. And that's a correct answer. You guys have an amazing day.